So how many years were you a drill instructor?
About 8.5.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Did you get some of that anger out maybe through that process too? I mean, did you feel like you've been through something and now you're going to teach these guys who think they know everything, and then you're going to tell them and teach them what it's really going to be like?
I think basically it was, I got most of my anger out of me, and
Do you ever feel sorry for those new recruits, knowing that they're probably going to be in Vietnam?
no, because I felt, I had learned enough over the years that, if they took in what I taught them, they would be a good survivor,
Did you used to yell at the new recruits?
Yes, I did.
I mean, you don't seem like you know what I'm talking about.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, is it like you see in the movies?
Definitely.
I mean, the purpose of all that is to prepare them, to knock them down, and then to build them back up.
Right. You probably heard a lot of people say, I'm saying in the army so they can make a man out of you, right? And that's, I used to hear people say that, and that's what a lot of people did. And you go, and people come in, and you had to start them all over, life all over, take a good man, make a better man out of it,
So would you expect me to say yes, sir, or yes, first sergeant, or just how would that response be?
Yes, drill sergeant, right? The Marines is, sir, yes, sir. In the Army, yes, drill sergeant, no drill sergeant, and when you gave that answer, yes, drill sergeant, I mean, it came from your,
So they teach you how to do that, right?
Right.
Is that something that you would acquire, or is it just the way you've always been?
Well, we went to drill sergeant school, and they taught you the basics. And you went out and you just, you took a few steps farther, and getting, indoctrinating the trainees, and one thing we learned the first couple of days would make a cycle. And see, and you're looking for a drill sergeant of the year, drill sergeant of the cycle, and you start from day one, indoctrinating the troops. So, your chance of being drill sergeant of the year, drill sergeant of the cycle, and it was, a lot of competition, and it wasn't mistreating the trainees, but it's just getting them to think, to react on your commands, right?
So the end result for the trainee is to follow orders.
Right, and you, at the same time, you picking out ROTC candidates, OCS candidates, prospective candidates, and from there you go to the commander. I think this man should go to be selected for OCS, ROTC, or something like that, and all the time you get to know, we had to interview, like you're doing me, we had to interview each one of our troops. You have 40, 50 men in your platoon, you had to go through, you interview them, right, check their education, the background, and you get to know them that way, and it was real interesting,
If you wanted me to do something, what would you say? Mr. Capetto, would you do this or do that? I mean, how would you say that? What would you say?
But anyhow,
I want you to pretend that I'm a new recruit and you need me to do something. I mean, what would you say? You would order me to do it, right?
See,
You'd tell me to
during
do it.
that time, whatever it took to make a good man a better man, that's what you was encouraged to do by your commanders down the line, and you, Joe Saucer said, get over here, troop, like that, and you do that for about the first 7 weeks, right? And then after that, you mellow down, right? You become more, they've did what you want them to do, right? They passed the test, right? Whether they graduate or not, they passed your test, and it was just a different atmosphere. It wasn't buddies, but you lighten up on them, right? And they saw, and after that you see them trained to volunteer for jump school, OCS, because they figure, hey, he done taught me everything I need to know. I'm gonna take a step farther, and it was good.
Were you there when the recruits got off the buses?
In some cases, yes.
So what did you say? Hi, welcome to Fort Jackson, South Carolina?
Not that much. Not that it didn't good. No. Hey, troop, you're in the army, now get your off the bus. Line up. You just yell at everybody. You have about 5 or 6 drill sergeants, right? Everybody yelling, and the trainee don't know what to do, right? Have them so confused, right? And you take them to show them where it's bed, show them how to make up a bed, how to do polish boots and everything, and.
So would you call them by their last name or their first name, or would you just call them Boot? I mean, what would you say to them?
Trainee most of the time, trainee. Come here, trainee, and someone probably a few names, for them, so, but.
So you weren't trying to be their friend?
No, definitely not, no.
But did you want them to hate you?
In some cases, yeah. Because sometimes you can get a point over to a person. Believe it or not, if they don't like you, you can get a point over to a person quicker than you could being buddies with them, right? And you during these interviews, you kind of picked up on who you could push, who you couldn't push. You picked up on what a certain person breaking limits are. Whether he, I've had trainers come in with a rifle. Gonna beat me up with a rifle. I'm serious. And because I pushed them to that point. And then some. Hey. How bad that trainer was stabbed with a bayonet because I pushed them past that point, And you just had to know how far to push them to get your point over, But I enjoyed it. That was one of the best I enjoyed. I told my son, I said, as soon as he could, he should volunteer for drill sergeant school. It's an experience to last you the rest of your life, I'm telling you the truth. When you can get in front of a company and you have 250 men and you call them to attention, all of them just like that, they snap to attention and you give them a command, right face. You can hear,